Hey, it's Chadwick from chadwickandamy.com, and this is our third video for our straw bale garden this year, and we are ready to plant. Make sure you check the description below for the first two videos that we did. Number one, conditioning, or getting ready to condition. Number two, the conditioning process, what we saw, what we found, and now this one, number three, we're all ready to start planting. So we've gone to the store, we've decided to do a variety of plants that have already been started, and then a mix of vegetables and stuff that we're going to do that are from seed. So part of what we've got going on in here that we're going to need is we had to get some potting soil that we can put in, not only for the plants that are going from seed, but also the ones that have already been started, just to get those in the bales and get them healthy. We chose Happy Frog, because how can you go wrong with a picture of a happy frog on the bag? No, actually, go ahead and Google this stuff and you can take a look at all the nutrients that it has and some of the benefits that it's going to have. It's all organic. And then we're going to mix some vegetable fertilizer in with the soil as we get the planting going on. We've got a mix of different vegetables that we're going to do. We won't show you them all, but we'll put them in the description of where we're going with it. We're going to do the marigolds around the side of the bales, chiefly because where we're at, we have quite a few deer that come in. We take care of them all winter long, and they didn't seem to go very far once spring hit. We still see them poking around in the yard. Last thing that we want them to do is to start getting into our garden. So that's where we're at. I think we've got everything laid out pretty well. So we're just gonna go ahead and start on that, and we'll bring some video in for portions of it, but definitely not all of it, because that would be boring. So we'll pick up here in just a few minutes. Okay, we've opened up our bag of our Happy Frog here. Texture looks really nice. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill up our little bin here and then mix in our organic fertilizer. We're just going to do a couple tablespoons, 2 or 3 per full little bucket here that we have, our little pan, and we'll mix that all in real good. That way we'll get the best of what Happy Frog's got to offer, plus this the best of what this little vegetable fertilizer has to offer, and we'll use that to get everything started in the bales. So we'll go ahead and get that ready and move on to the next step here shortly.
We have what? 3 of these?
Mm-hmm. Alright, here's our row of cucumbers. We're doing these from seeds. As you can see, we're doing 2 trellises or tomato cages per bale. We planted 6 seeds per pile, and that'll give us the option to be able to weed out any that might be coming in a little weak. And we plan on having hoping to have about 2 per cage that are good. So we'll have 4 cucumber plants growing per bale. That's the hope. As you can see, we just did a little mound of dirt on top of the straw bale and got it buried in, and this is our mix of the soil and the fertilizer that we have. So we're going to move on to strawberries next, or not strawberries, but tomatoes. It'll be a little bit different of a process that we're going to take on this one, but we'll show you that in just a minute. Hold that. All right, here's what the tomatoes look like. We've got some, what do we have down here, sweetie?
These are husky cherry red tomatoes.
These are the husky red cherry tomatoes. We're doing 3 of those in one bale. And then 2 of
These are Romas.
2 of the Romas in each of the next 2 bales. So there's 4 plants there. As you saw, all we had to do was go in there with our spade and just kind of separate out the bale a little bit. It pulls apart really well. Threw some of the soil down in there, placed the plant that we bought as a starter into where we had split it, and then threw some more topsoil in and around the base of it. Put our cages up, and it was pretty easy to go. I can tell you that probably one of the nicest things about it was these bales have us a good 1.5 feet off the ground. It sure did help out on not having to bend all the way down to the ground for that. But from here on out, we've got a mixture of plants that we've already purchased that have already started. That'll be the same process as the tomatoes that we just showed you. And then we got a few more things that we're going to start off as seeds. So we're just going to go ahead and get to work on that, so we can finish this up here shortly, and then we'll start on our marigolds, and get some herbs and stuff to throw in too. I'm taking a break. What are you doing?
Taking a break?
Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the most important pieces.
I agree with what you said.
I have no comment to that.
Unnecessary.
Okay, at this point we have all of the main vegetables in. The tomatoes, the cucumbers, the peppers. Over on this side we have the zucchini. Over here they're caged in. We did some pumpkins here on this front too. The next 2 have squash in them. Over here, these cage ones, these are peas. What we did was we took the tomato cages and we put them in upside down, and we anchored them in with some stakes. And these are growing peas. Honey, what's right here?
Beans.
And over here are our bush beans. So we have 3 bales of bush beans. With 3 mounds each. I think we put, what, 3 in each mound?
Yep.
So we'll thin out those out as we go. But this is what the final product looks like. As far as the vegetables and whatnot, we're going to go ahead and take a few minutes and put in the marigolds. We have some herbs that we're going to put in too, and we'll come back to that in just a minute. Alright, now that we have all of the garden veggies planted, what we're doing is going along and in the sides of the bales planting these marigolds. As I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of deer around here. We take care of them during the winter, and this year they don't seem to be going anywhere. We still see them around the yard. So these marigolds are a natural deterrent to deer. They're pretty, and they're kind of earthy and fallish to look at, but they emit a smell that the deer don't care for. So we're putting those in the sides of the bales. And all I'm doing is really taking the spade and kind of widen out a spot. We take the marigold and just stick it right in there. These bales naturally close in around it. I mean, it's really simple just to stick them in. And they'll take advantage of the same nutrients that the conditioning of the bales provided for the regular garden plants. Also, what we're doing we took some herbs that we had. Do you remember this one, sweetie?
Lavender.
This is a lavender one. And we're just going to plant that in between these cucumbers and let that kind of have its way in the same thing. So we're kind of in the supplemental period of what we've got going on. We've got hopefully the natural deer deterrent going on up here. We've got some herbs. We've got several different types of herbs that we want to have going. We do a lot of salsa when it comes time for canning in the fall. So everything that we've got in the garden will be able to go into that salsa. So now we're starting to put those herbs into the garden that we'll be able to add to it as well. So yeah, we're going to go all the way around, at least on the outsides this way. We'll probably have some marigolds left over. We've got quite a few. Got a good deal on the flat of them, but that's where we're at now. So even though it looks like this is an aesthetic thing with putting the flowers on the outside, making it look pretty, it's really a natural deterrent for the deer is the primary thing, because we don't want to put all this work into it and have them come along and just eat it all up. So that's where we're at now. We're going to work our way around. That'll take a little while. Sun's coming out, starting to get hot, but it's all right. The way that these bales kind of come around these plants really makes it a whole lot easier than anything else we've done before. So this is good. All right, everything is planted. We got the peas, squash, pumpkins, beans, zucchinis, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers. What we did a couple weeks ago was we set up these white buckets to collect rainwater, and because we've had some pretty good rain the last couple weeks, keep everything kind of the temperature of the climate around us. What we're going to do is just go ahead and water everything that we've planted today. In the next video, what we'll do, we're going to hook up our irrigation system. A friend of ours named Zeke gave us a drip system. That'll be in the next couple days. What we'll have to do now that we have everything planted, we'll be able to hook up the drip system to make sure the water is getting right where it needs to be. And so we'll do that over this next week. But for tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to take this cups of this water that we've had sitting out for a while, and we are going to just go ahead and pour it right around the base of everything that we have going, just to get everything feeling at home in our straw bales, which is going to take some time to do. So we will not bore you with that. But in the meantime, as you're watching these videos, please go ahead, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment, leave a question, leave a like, dislike, criticism, hate, love, question, whatever you have, and we'll go from there. The next video will be the installation of our irrigation system, which I said we're going to do a drip system from Burpee. I think it's like circa 1989, so it's a little bit of an older system, but as long as it gets water to what we have going on, we'll be happy with it. And from that, thank you. Check out the links that are in the description below for parts 1, 2, and this is 3, and we'll pick it up from there.